welcome to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always an Instant Classic.
And you're...
And we want to punch Jim Cornette in the face repeatedly until he bleeds because he's stupid.
Hot tag! Hot tag!
Hot tag, okay, I got you. I got you, I'm coming in hot. You know, I'm gonna hit that Big E spear.
We'll see you on the flippity dippity. Oh yeah.
And we're back. I know you missed us. Miss us no longer. Unless you really want to, you can still miss us. But, I mean, we're here, so I don't know why you would miss us. But welcome back to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast. We're here to do our NXT review for, I believe it was 3/9/16. Let's just get into it because, you know, you'll find out why I wasn't too happy with this show. Anyway, opens up with William Regal coming out. He talks about how Baron Corbin attacked Austin Aries last week, and he says that he's not going to suspend him or do anything. And the only reason he's not going to suspend him is because Austin Aries asked him not to. So now at TakeOver Dallas, we will have Austin Aries versus Baron Corbin, which I'm kind of excited for. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I am definitely excited. Definitely excited for Austin Aries versus Baron Corbin. I think it could be a really good feud. Obviously, both of these guys are two very talented guys. And William Regal, you did not suspend Baron Corbin because he did not deserve to be suspended. He didn't do anything wrong. He told you what was going to happen. He just didn't give you the specifics. So you're already robbing the man of an NXT heavyweight championship of the world and Florida title shot. So don't you dare say he should have been suspended. He didn't deserve to be suspended. But I am excited for Baron Corbin versus Austin Aries. It's going to be really good.
I mean, but he lost.
He didn't, but he lost. He did, but the other two have also lost on other occasions. So
yeah. You know what would be really cool? See, Baron Corbin, he tapped out to both Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn. What if he taps out to Austin Aries? Oh, that'll be his new thing. He just taps out to everybody.
He actually won't. He's going to dominate Austin Aries.
We'll see. We'll see. But next we go to Samoa Joe versus Sami Zayn in the 2 out of 3 falls match for the #1 contendership. I was kind of confused as to why this was opening the show. I thought this should have been the main event. I would shortly find out why this was the only match on the card. Let's be honest. WWE, I know this is WWE taking what we say way too seriously, kind of like TNA does. I know we say we want longer matches. We don't want the entire match to be the show. We don't want that. But anyway, after a surprisingly long first fall, again, we would figure out why it was a surprisingly long fall because the whole match was the show. We get the first fall from Samoa Joe, kind of as I expected. Sami Zayn gets the second fall via submission. Again, I expected. I felt like this match was really predictable because we saw Sami Zayn on Raw, so obviously he's going back up to the main roster. So clearly he's not going to win the NXT title again. But he gets the second fall, and then Samoa Joe gets the third fall and becomes #1 contender for the NXT Heavyweight Championship of the world and Florida. But this was a good match. It was a little bit long for what I would like. Again, it was the show, but any thoughts on the match? This is a short review that we're doing. Any thoughts?
Yeah. To be honest, completely honest, I'm actually fine with it. Simply because it was unpredictable. Like, maybe the match result was predictable, but having this match last the whole time was unpredictable. I was actually somewhat fine with this being the first match on the card, coming from the mindset of this may not be the whole show. I was actually fine with it being the first match on the card because technically this is kind of old business. And, so technically this was kind of old business. So you want to get the old business out of the way and figure out who the number one contender is so you can continue on with the show. So I kind of get that in that regard. But, yeah, I'm actually fine with it. Like we said before, we don't see 2 out of 3 falls matches that much. I feel like, and I'm wondering, I'm just curious, would you have been happier if they would have said, okay, this is going to be a 60-minute Iron Man match and told us that it was going to be the whole show, rather than them like sneaking it up on us like they did?
I feel like that would have been better, because they did make it a little bit. Obviously, they were selling it like they didn't know it was going to be the whole show. They sold it like this is just the opening match. They said we're going to have these matches later, blah blah blah. So and so is going to be here, whatever. So they sold it like this was just going to be the opening match. But I feel like maybe they should have said opening 60-minute Iron Man or 60-minute 2 out of 3 falls match would have been better. I don't know. I mean, they didn't say there was going to be any other spectacular matches. They said there was going to be a tag team match with the Revival or whatever. So I wasn't too disappointed that we didn't see those matches, but still, I think they should have said just, and I think that would have made it feel like a more special show. If they said special 60-minute 2 out of 3 fall match next week or this week or something like that.
Yeah, I think I like this because Lucha Underground did something similar to this, and they actually announced that it was going to be a match that would last the entire show. They called it All Night Long. It was pretty much a 60-minute Iron Man match between Mundo and Prince Puma, which was cool. But yeah, I kind of as far as storytelling is concerned, it makes sense. Just because this is like their final battle. This is Sami Zayn giving back to NXT by putting himself in a 60-minute match anyway. So I kind of felt like it was kind of fine. It was kind of cool to see Sami Zayn kind of giving it back to NXT, which is kind of giving him so much, kind of getting a start in WWE. But this match, as far as the match is concerned, it was actually really good. The first fall, was really long, and it was actually really slow to start out. But Sami Zayn with those beefy clotheslines, he was killing Joe with those freaking clotheslines. I thought they looked really, really stiff. One thing I hate about the finish of this match is I am so tired of the pass out finish. I'm just it's overdone now. Like it's fine every once in a while, but now like every submission win, like 9 times out of 10 is a pass out finish, and I'm like, why? It's fine. Like it's fine to tap out because like even with Joe when he tapped out to the Cody Clutch, I was like, I get it because he's got one more fall to go. So, he can give up that, that fall to come back and not be as hurt by the Cody Clutch. But, I just didn't like the pass out finish. And if they're going to do the pass out finish, fine. But the referee should sell it more. The referee, I actually like the lifting of the arm 3 times. 3 is the number of completion. If anyone knows about that, 3 is the number of completion. So, like, I actually like the lifting of the arm more than just like, oh, let's shake him and see if he's knocked out. I get it. That's kind of what they do in MMA. they kind of do that sort of thing. But professional wrestling isn't MMA. Like, try to distance yourself from that and make yourself your own thing. But I thought it was a good match. I thought, for a match that lasted as long as it did, I definitely thought it was a good match. And I think they may be they're setting up, obviously we know the Ballot Club's coming soon. I think they're either setting up for the Ballot Club to debut at TakeOver Dallas, or they're setting up for Finn to go up to the main roster and the Ballot Club to debut there. Because for Samoa Joe to kind of give back to NXT, I guess you could say, and compete in a 60-minute Iron Man match, it shows that he has the endurance that he can take a certain amount of punishment and still win. So I feel like they're trying to make him look strong too within that. But I definitely like the match. I didn't mean to go on like a tangent or anything, but I just thought it like, from a storytelling standpoint to a certain degree, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I can understand it from the storytelling, but I just feel like, intentionally doing it, they should have said something. I mean, I know, for example, with New Japan on Pop, if you watch it on Pop, you'll see, tag team matches or, singles matches that are the entire hour show. But those are, pre-recorded matches from, some of their pay-per-views, some of their other shows. So it's not, it's not NXT where it's, their new episode every week.
I think they could have even hinted at it. Like, this match could last all night long. There's no, could have said something about, there's no time limit, just to give you, like, a hint that it may last all night long.
Yeah. But no. It was a good match, and it was a good send-off for Sami Zayn, too, so he can go up to officially be on the main roster and not have John Cena hurt him again. Because, sometimes it happens. It happens. And then I'm excited for the Ballot Club. On the point of the Ballot Club, do you think they should debut it at TakeOver, or do you think they should debut it on the main roster? Because I feel like the Bullet Club is big enough that, most wrestling fans either have heard of the Bullet Club or know the Bullet Club. So I think they could debut it on the main roster and, kind of have an idea of what it is. I don't know I feel like if they're going to bring him up to the main roster anyway, it's kind of a waste to debut it, in NXT or on an NXT pay-per-view. But I kind of wanted to see your thoughts on that.
To be honest, I think it would be cool to add a new wrinkle into this demon persona, and maybe do something where Finn comes up to the main roster. He has to fight AJ Styles for, let's just say, the Intercontinental Championship or something like that, or a U.S. title. That would bring back some more importance to that title as well, having those caliber guys going after it. And so they fight for the title. And then the Ballot Club, they come up and they debut and they do their thing. And then Finn Balor actually ends up handing the title over to AJ Styles. They're like just giving up the match. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that would be something, and that could add a little bit, like a more evil wrinkle to the demon, because the demon is obviously, as a demon, it's obviously something evil anyway. But, like, we don't get to see that because, we just know it as it's just another persona. So it could add another wrinkle to that demon persona if, the Balor Club comes up, they attack both men, or they just attack Balor. And, Balor keeps taking it and whatnot. And then, AJ Styles acknowledges it, and then Balor just kind of lays down for him. Then they could show that they're all together, and it puts a really deep storyline into the mid-card title, which we haven't had in a long time.
Yeah. Do you think they'll have AJ join the Ballot Club, or?
I think it would be cool to see AJ as like the leader of the Ballot. If they obviously if they call it the Ballot Club, he's not going to be the leader of the Ballot Club. But if they call it like Bulletproof or whatever, you could even kind of have like co-leaders and maybe have Finn and AJ team up. You know, maybe or maybe we have something where the Ballot Club, you know, they do something with the New Day. I feel like the New Day is going to lose at Mania, though. They're going to drop the titles. But if they keep them, let's just say they kind of, you know, the Ballot Club could be something that's not necessarily positive anymore within the tag team division. And then they come up, they attack the New Day, and then they're kind of look as they're feuding with Balor and AJ Styles, and then eventually the Ballot Club joins AJ Styles, and I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I think I would love to see, you know, a dual leader kind of faction, because we haven't really gotten that before. You know, even with DX, you know, by the time, you know, X-Pac and Billy Gunn and all them got in DX, you know, Shawn Michaels was out at that point, so you still only had one. And even in Evolution, you could argue that, you know, that Ric Flair was sort of a leader, but he was more of, you know, he was still, you know, it was Triple H was the leader. So we haven't really had a, you know, a faction with two leaders. I think that would be interesting to have. But anyway, that was our NXT review. Tried to, you know, make it a little bit longer by discussing some things, but it's kind of hard when, you know, even though it was a 60-minute match, you know, it's still kind of hard to stretch out a review on one match much longer than we have. But yeah, so we will have, like we said in the WrestleMania video, we'll have WrestleMania 12 tomorrow. We're going to have TNA tomorrow, and I think we're going to do a video. We've been talking about a possible brand split video. There's no rumors or anything about it. It was just something I watched a video that somebody else did, and it kind of got me thinking, you know, what if WWE did a brand split again? Would it be good? Would it be bad? What are kind of the pros and cons? Just kind of discussing it a little bit, because it definitely does have some pros and cons to it. You know, it could help in some places and it could, you know, not help in others, kind of like it did originally when they did the original brand split. But don't forget to check out the other videos, our other NXT videos, our other TNA videos. Check out our road trip to WrestleMania. That's getting good. We're having fun with that. And follow, subscribe, like, do the Twitter thing, the Twitter machine. Go check that out, and we will see you on the flippity dippity. Oh yeah.